I'm not sure where we're going to start today. Where do we start? Do we start with silver coming into the 2450 resistance? Do we start with gold making new all-time highs against the US dollar and what some upside targets might be? Do we start with the dollar? Because after all, it is a dollar story. Dollar breaking down, passing some really important supports over here at the 93.80 area and also this trend line over here. This does not look good for the dollar over here. What else are we seeing happening? We're seeing equity markets rising. Let's take a look over here. Let me come down to the 8-hour. We'll start here today. And you can see that price is resuming right off of that trend line support, the mid level over here. And it's very smooth. We're looking here targeting 33.20, right? Trade back below this trend line over here, break somewhere around 3,200. And at that point, when we come back down into this trend line over here, that's a place we're looking to be buyers as well. Below that, below the 31.23 support, at that point, we say, all right, this trend has come to an end. We're looking for a real further downside impulse. And at that point, we'll be looking for the short side. But right now, it is buy side only. You cannot short this market. I've been saying it over and over again. You want to swim with the current. NASDAQ up 2% today over here. You're seeing, what else are we seeing? We're seeing the Dow perhaps taking another run at the June high over here. The June high, the Dow has maintained sizable distance while the S&P has gone ahead and taken out the June highs, and the NASDAQ continues to make new all-time highs. June high for the NASDAQ was all the way back over here, trading well above it right now. Now, so what happens with gold? Gold is trading now to new all-time highs. What does that mean? What happens if you want to participate? What are the next places to look to buy gold? What are the next places to look to sell gold? Well, as we enter making new all-time highs right now, I expected some type of pullback now. I would be looking for any type of 3 to 5% pullback on gold, which right now would take you somewhere around a 5% pullback on gold. Just for reference, takes you back towards 1840 on gold. So now we could trade up. We could trade up a lot higher. We could trade up as high as maybe 2,000 or even break it before trading off 5%. That would take us back down towards 1,900. Either which way, right now this move is definitely parabolic. It's not parabolic, but it's parabolic on this short time frame, right? If you were to go to a higher time frame right now and you were looking at the weekly time frame, could you say that's parabolic? For me, no. I think we're just getting started over here as we take out the all-time highs on gold. I think right now we're targeting some much higher prices. I don't think that you want to sell gold in this current environment. I think that you want to continue holding and or accumulating gold. I think that we're going to be looking at really significantly higher prices. I don't want to put a number on it. We'll make 2,400 our next level. All right. What about on silver? Silver right over here. We're looking at 29.48 resistance above us. And if we break out now above this resistance at 24.50, that's the next area we'll be targeting. We'll be targeting up at 29.48 resistance. Now, of course, this was as we come into this resistance right now at 24.50. And last week, as we were consolidating over here, this is the impulse that we were looking for to take us into this resistance. This is where you take profit and now you get back on the side and you wait for a pullback. Now, this is going to be a deeper pullback than you're looking for on gold. You could see a 5 to 7% pullback on silver, no problem. A 7% pullback will take you into this nice area of support over there. That's a place to look to reposition yourself in over here. Eventually, 24.50 falls, and then we're headed up towards 29.48. Now, this could absolutely happen by the end of the year. We're looking right now at further stimulus coming. We're looking at least a $1 trillion package. It looks like all of this is going to continue to weaken the dollar. And as the dollar weakens, we're seeing all asset prices gain versus the dollar. That's why stocks are going up. right? That's why we're seeing gold and silver go up. And now Bitcoin has joined and started the bull market. The bull market here, you could see the trend line break on Bitcoin has started off the bull market. Let's look over here. Do have some resistance over here starting at, let's call it 11.6. Between 11.6 and 1200. That's where this move is targeting right now. I said the run up could be quick. That's for sure. I think we're working our way towards 14,000 next. How long that takes, I have no idea, but we're working our way towards 14,000. We might get held up at 12 first, but that's where we're headed next. By the end of the year, again, 17,000. That's what we're looking for. If you look at this interesting chart, by the way, this is Bitcoin yearly candles. And if you look at this candle we're on right now, this is the candle that we're currently on right now. This was the 2016, 4 years later, 2020. Now, this candle last time ended at the height of the red down candle, at the highest price point. That would put us right around 17,000 right here. If you go to 2018, highest price is around 17,000. That's exactly where I've been saying we end up, somewhere around December 2020. And this chart here showing that last time that actually happened. Let's see if that happens again. It's next year that we get the huge move on Bitcoin. Next year, 2021, is the year that we get the huge candle on Bitcoin every 4 years. Right now, bull market has begun. We have this clean, beautiful breakout of the trend line. We are now working our way up. How far we get, by the way, just some reference for all of you. As you come into 14,000, if you have a 30% pullback, where does that take you? That takes you right back down towards 10,400. The big resistance that we just broke out today, the 10,400 resistance, which was the last confirmation for the bull market to begin. The first was the break of this trend line. The second was, of course, 10,400. We have blown through there today, but as we come into 14,000, and eventually we're making our way towards 14,000 next, a 30% pullback from there takes us back to 10,400 resistance, right? Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. We're expecting, we're preparing mentally, we're getting ourselves ready for those coming 30% pullbacks on Bitcoin. You know, whether it's 20%, 30%, these are areas that you're going to want to be leaning in the bull market. It's hardest because price is coming off and coming off hard. Don't pay attention to noise out there, whatever noise is, whatever's on Cointelegraph, right? Whatever's on whatever. Don't pay attention to all of that. Pay attention to signal. The signal today is Bitcoin breaking out, confirming the bull market. It's off. Here we go. It's going to be a beautiful ride. I hope that everyone is able to stay on. Buy and hold for some is going to be the best strategy over here. Here we have the Bloomberg Dollar Index trading at the lowest level since 2018. You can see that support, and we're coming in hot. Let's see what happens over here. Here's another look at the Bloomberg Dollar Index, and you can see the breakdown of this channel over here. This is going back 2 years. This is signaling, right, further lows, creating the death cross. This is when you have the 50-day moving average crossing the 200-day moving average, known as the death cross, taking place right now on the Bloomberg Dollar Index. And as the dollar, right, as the dollar fell today, you're looking at gold making new all-time highs. Here is a beautiful chart. You could see the inverse of the dollar index going back the last couple of months with gold. It was before, earlier in the year, it was gold rising with a strong dollar. Now it's gold rising with a weak dollar. So we're looking at, this looks like Robinhood traders. This is not. This is just GLD ETF, right? Obviously GLT holders rising over here. Up there's Robinhood users in green. And you can see in step with ETF. That's kind of cool to see. You're seeing, by the way, we didn't look at it on the Twitter. We'll look at that in 1 second. Max Kaiser was on the record today tweeting that he believes there's going to be a huge short squeeze in gold. A lot of people are going to be forced to cover. That could send prices much, much higher. And you could see there as gold is going off to make new all-time record highs. This is just beginning. The bull market is just beginning. in a world of negative interest rates, believe me, there's way further upside here on gold. Don't believe me, do your own research. Just use my analysis as a nice guide. I hope it does provide. If it does, go ahead and please smash that like button, support the channel. What else are we looking at over here? We're looking at silver, right? We've already looked at that, trading up towards 24.50 resistance. And we're looking at over here, we're seeing Robinhood traders also, like SLV holders, about on the same ratio. That's kind of cool. I like that right now. What else? Bitcoin, obviously we know. Bitcoin bull market has begun. What a beautiful, beautiful pattern this looks like over here. This is just, we're screaming for 12,000 pretty quickly. That's going to come pretty quickly. 14,000 is our next target on Bitcoin. From there, I'm looking for a 30% drawdown before I add to Bitcoin again. Ethereum continues to surge. It's been on fire. We'll look at tomorrow during the live streams. We'll look at price targets overhead on Ethereum. Beautiful, beautiful right there. That's the next area we're headed. 500. Keep it in sight. This doesn't actually look like a nice pattern here. You're looking at FANG stocks. You're looking at tech. I think tech's going to continue to rise, obviously. But what you're seeing over here is the potential. If you have a resumption downwards, then we're going to be testing these lows here from last week, maybe even taking them out. We're expecting and looking for possible weakness in equities over the first few weeks of August. So just a heads up and caution on that. Tesla, once again, off in ludicrous mode. Tesla being Tesla. Shanghai looks like it's coming into some pretty important support. If that does not hold, that could be a problem. Here we go. Here's gold to silver ratio. And you can see this is, by the way, the next crisis. The next time there's a liquidity crisis, get long gold versus silver. That's a good trade over there. And that happened in 2008 the same way. That's the height. You can see this trend line broken now. Silver finally outperforming and continues and should continue in that direction for quite some time over here. This is interesting looking at the gold to silver ratio going back to the end of World War I, the start of World War II, right? Going back towards the 1986 gold crisis, the Gulf War. So this is probably one of the most important charts that we're looking at here for those that are following the channel and the work we do here. This has the resurgence in global negative yielding debt, signaling more fun ahead for Bitcoin and gold. Interesting if that trend continues. That's going to send Bitcoin and gold to really, really some really dizzying heights. We're going to be there together. That's for sure. So back to gold and silver, the question remains, what comes first? Is it 3,000 gold or $50 silver? You know, I prefer gold. I'm a gold guy. Everyone knows that. But I also obviously hold and love silver. It's official. The bull has begun. This is what we just looked at. We don't need to look at it again. So, you know, very clean breakout over here. Now above the 10,400. What else do we have going on over here? That's everything I wanted to show you. This is, by the way, the Fed's balance sheet. I forgot which bank. Deutsche Bank expects the Fed's balance sheet. It looks by 2000. I can't get a read on what this is. That might be 2030. By 2030, expects the Fed balance sheet to go towards, I believe, $20 trillion. Yeah, $20 trillion. We'll see. Probably it'll be a lot sooner than that. That's for sure. But by the end of this year, by the end of 2020, it looks possible that the Fed's balance sheet could increase by another $3 trillion. We could be ending this year with the Fed $10 trillion in the hole. What does that mean going forward? We're going to plan it all out together. By the way, the dollar, and this is all a dollar story. Let's go over here. I added this trend line today. Someone was wondering whether or not we were holding. I'm not sure how the trend line looked, whether it was something like that maybe they were looking at. And they're asking, were we up to a trend line today? Are we holding a trend line today? Not the way I view trend lines. I went ahead and added in this trend line first, starting here, right? You could see it has its, on the way up, is what the market is keying off and looking at. I then cloned it and add this one over here for the outer limits over here that we've broken through. That's a very bearish signal over here. We might now get that retrace to retest that broken support, make sure it's resistance. And if we do that next big move on the dollar, that's where you want to load up, because it's been fantastic. We've seen the dollar take out important levels today on the euro US dollar and also on the US dollar Japanese yen. We're going to take a look at them both. Right here, you could see on the 8-hour time frame or on the 3-day, you could get a good look at how important that support was at 105.70. You could see how important that was, and now you could see the breakdown over there. Here comes the retest and then the resumption down. That's when you could get long yen versus US dollars. It becomes interesting now. There's a lot of other interesting things as well. One of them is the euro US dollar. And this one, I took profit coming into this trend line over here at 1.1714. That was coming off an entry down here. It's about 400 pips. It was a beautiful trade. It came in quick and clean. I was able to add to it as well over down here. It was a beautiful trade. I took profit, and now we're breaking above the trend line. What does that mean? That means this trend line, by the way, is going back 12 years. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. You could see we tried to pierce once before. That failed. Could this one fail? Yes. Does it look like that we have a lot in motion that's signaling a weaker dollar? It sure does. If we get any type of a retest of that support level and then a resumption off of it, I'll be looking to take a new position on the euro US dollar. The US dollar Mexican peso continues now after breaking the support over here. Continues towards the 2150 support level. Trade looks beautiful. Lots of trades continue extending down. The US dollar Swiss franc breaking that important 0.938 level, and just continue to hold all these open trades into profit. And the last couple of weeks of trading have been very, very nice. And I hope that continues as we now Australian dollar, Japanese yen finding support here off of that support, or that trend line support here right now. Let's see if that continues to hold and we come back up towards 76.68. So there's a lot of actually even opportunity in the market right now. This little line over here would be if we broke this trend line, just like on the S&P 500. That's where we would begin looking to attack to the downside. So it remains a dollar story. Fed's doing QE, asset prices get inflated, stocks go up, dollars going down. It's a dollar story. Precious metals, gold making a new all-time high versus the US dollar, and Bitcoin breaking out until its bull market. The party's beginning. I hope everyone is positioned so well. I know everyone is doing really well, trading really well. I've seen immense growth over the last 4 weeks, and I just hope it continues. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please go ahead, smash that like button. Help the channel with the YouTube algorithm, and I'll talk to you later.